Alright, so I just finished watching the DLC 2 live stream from Bandai Namco on Twitch. I just got done watching it. And there's two things that I noticed that I really wanted to point out, and the main focus is Champa and Vados. And now it's not the characters because that's for you can experience that yourself and all the combos. Really nothing, just like worth detailing all over about. It's worth showcasing in a combo video, but yeah, that's another story. But what I want to talk about is their Super Souls. So Champa's Super Soul is very similar to Beerus's. Beerus Z Soul, if you don't know it, it's I believe it's called something about destruction. Before creation comes ruin. Yeah, I believe that's what it's called. And what that Super Soul does is after 30 seconds, it increases all Ki Blast Supers by 20%, or it says XL, so XL means 20%. All right. So since Champa and Beerus are basically twins, Champa has, as you would figure, a similar Z Soul, which is the same thing. It increases, but instead it increases strike supers or melee skills, whichever that means. Most likely strike supers, and it could mean basic attack as well. But after 30 seconds, it will increase your strike supers or melee skills, like I said, by 20% or XL amount. So basically, they mirror each other. One's for key and the other's for strike supers and possibly for basic attack. The Super Soul is called "You're just a pawn in a game" or something like that. It's basically what Champa had said to Hit and Goku at the Universe 6 tournament towards the end while he was fussing with Beerus. So yeah, that's basically what that Super Soul is. It's just a opposite Super Soul of Beerus's. Instead of Ki being increased, it's strike, melee skills, whatever you want to call it. And the other one is Vados Super Soul. Now, if you know, we Super Soul, whenever you perfect block, it increases your health or gives you health by a small amount, which I believe is 5%. So Vados' Super Soul, I didn't see the description, but they did say what it did, and it gives Ki and stamina. Alright? So this is what I figured it would do. Before they even explained it, I was like, well, wait a minute. If Champa's and Beerus Super Soul is like mirrored, well, Vados and Wii Super Soul is probably mirrored too. I just thought it would just be stamina, but instead it's stamina and Ki. Alright? So the thing about this Super Soul, I can't say if it's OP, broken, legit. I can't say what it is yet because I haven't seen that one used. Now about the Beerus and Champa one, alright, that's perfectly fine. Alright, it gives an increase. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's a good Z Soul. They're good Super Souls, alright. But the thing about the Vados Super Soul, if it works anything like the Wii Super Soul, it'll give a 5% increase or a small increase to stamina and Ki every successful Just Guard. Okay, so that basically means depending on how much Ki and stamina you have is how many bars you're gonna have. That's probably what it's gonna work like. All right, if it's a set amount, then it won't have the amount of small or whatever by it. It'll just say the description. But if it says small or like S, like how it does for the Wii Super Soul, then it's 5% or somewhere around that. So this means by logic, if you have, let's say for example, just to make things easier, if you have like 10 bars of Ki or stamina, then if it gives a 5%, that's not even 10%, you'll get half either of a Ki bar or a stamina bar. So if it works like that, then there's nothing fucking wrong with this Super Soul. It's perfectly, like, you get a half a bar of stamina every time you perfect block. That's pretty, I'm not gonna, like, I'm not trying to be biased because I'm probably not gonna use Super Soul anyway. I'm probably gonna use Champa Super Soul, to be quite honest with you. But in terms of saying it's cheap or whatever, if it works like that, which I'm not sure, but I'm quite positive since they mirrored the Beerus and Whis one, and they're trying to do the same thing with the I mean not the Beerus and Whis one, the Beerus and Champa one, and they're trying to do the same thing with Whis and Vados. I think this Super Soul is going to be pretty legit, and that's if you have 10. If you have any less than that, then that number gets like half. So if you have like 5 bars of Ki or 5 bars of stamina, you gain, I believe, a quarter. You gain a quarter of a stamina bar or a quarter of a Ki bar. Alright, the Ki bar is not even the main problem because you already get Ki from perfect blocking. So if you're worried about somebody spamming the block button just to get stamina with that Super Soul, it could be a problem because it could add up, and next thing you know, they could have about like three extra bars of stamina. But then again, they have to get off the perfect block and 9 times out of 10, if they're spamming the perfect block button, then you just comboing their guard will decrease their stamina. Now, I'm not giving them a justification to spam the block button, but just in case, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, but if it does work, like it gives a certain amount, and it gives like 2 bars of stamina every perfect block, oh, that's when it becomes a fucking problem. But that's for a whole nother situation. That just opens up a whole category of like what you should accept and if you should play cheap or not. But yeah, that's my video for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment and let me know what you thought, and I'll catch y'all later in the next video.